Morning, Sporting Bet customers. How are you? I hope to see you, some of you, on Wednesday in Cheltenham. Is that how you say it? Cheltenham? Because I'll be there with some friends in the horses, getting used to these horses trips with Sporting Bet. Thank you very much for looking after me and my friends. We're all looking forward to it. And I guess I didn't realize how big an event it was until I just started telling people that I was going, and they were like, wow, yep, we'll be there all day. Just before I go to Stamford Bridge to see Chelsea versus Napoli, so busy day. Anyway, first thing to say, I think, is from last night's game at Old Trafford, Manchester United, Athletic Bilbao. And let me start with a couple of stats that probably describe what's happened to Manchester United this season. We've seen, and I think I've analysed during the season the fact that Manchester United just don't control games. But how do they manage without controlling games and without scoring as much as they used to, and conceding, and with problems at the goalkeeping position until now? Well, De Gea has been up and down, hasn't he? But I did say at the beginning of the season, don't laugh at him. You're going to make a mistake if you don't back him up. Talking about, people who analyse the game, and some did laugh at De Gea, and I think it's time to say actually what a goalkeeper he is. If you had followed the Spanish league, you would have admitted that as soon as he arrived. He's only 21, so he's got to get better. I had an interesting, I'm digressing now, but I had an interesting chat with Peter Shilton about De Gea, and he reckons that there's problems in his technique and problems in his selection process, which he will improve on, especially in crosses into the box, and how he positions himself to get those crosses. Things that with good coaching you can improve on. The problem that Peter Shilton was, the point that he was making, is that actually bad coaching is what is affecting goalkeepers. There's loads of good goalkeepers in Spain because the coaching is good. He didn't say that, but I'm saying that from the logic that he used, that there must have been very good goalkeeping coaches in England, because the ability, the genes, if you like, are there, but goalkeepers don't have enough technique to get it to the top. English goalkeepers. I'm sure that will be corrected as well, and you have to listen to him if you want to improve on that. So I think the FA should just contact him and make him part of his setup, of their setup, which surprisingly enough they haven't done yet. Anyway, completely digressing, but the idea is these two stats that will show you what Manchester United have been doing this season. Manchester United, for instance, beat West Brom 2-1 on the opening weekend of the season, despite only having one shot on target in the game to the Baggies' 3. Another one is Manchester United have the best chance conversion in the Premier League, scoring with 21% of their shots. So I think it was against Spurs as well. There was no possession, no control, but they took 2-goal lead with 2 shots on target. Very effective for front, but if they find a team that gets the ball off them and attacks them with the ambition of Athletic Bilbao, Manchester United struggle. It's not by chance that they are in the Europa League, and there are questions to be asked, and of course Sir Alex Ferguson is the best one to answer them and to apply them to his team, because clearly they lack personality, strength to actually, and perhaps the belief to actually play in a different way, not just gung-ho football, not just box to box as it was yesterday, but to have more control and more thinking. Why did I think that Paul Scholes is not a good idea to bring him in, although it's proven to be a good acquisition for certain games? It's because he doesn't have the dynamism, neither does Ryan Giggs, to cover enough space, enough ground in the midfield to actually impose himself on the game. They're great on passing, they're great on counter-attacking, but sometimes you have to keep control of the game, and they just don't have, Manchester United don't have that kind of midfielders at the moment. So they're playing against West Brom again, and you would say at Old Trafford they're favourites on this game, but I do believe that Roy Hodgson has actually realised how to beat or get something out of this game, and it is about giving Manchester United initiative and counter-attack them. Still think Manchester United will be favourites. The stories that are doing the rounds that Manchester United are gonna go with a weaker team thinking of the Europa League, I just don't believe in it. Perhaps what Ferguson is trying to say is that Rio Ferdinand may play both games, the Europa League and the League. In any case, we just saw against Athletic Bilbao two things. What we're talking about, the lacks that what Manchester United lacks at the moment to be a top team, and also Athletic Bilbao were fantastic. They attacked. They had 6-7 men in front of the ball. They recovered the ball early. They pressured high. Just did exactly the things that unnerve Manchester United. Also, that's my chance to say that I told you the Spanish league is strong. And of course, during the season, the first half of the season, all you can say is, "No, I'm telling you, strong. I am telling you, strong." Or the stats from the previous history. You know, this what is it? 4 wins of the Europa League in the last 10 years, or even less, were Spanish, and is it non-English? Just it looks like the Spanish league is stronger than you would think. I'm not sure which one of the two is stronger. If you want to discuss that, I will argue that La Liga is stronger, with the 2 teams at the top, which are basically the best in the world and will be first and second in any league in the world. But the rest is also very strong. Look at the results of Atletico Madrid against Besiktas 3-1, Valencia beat PSV 4-2, Athletic Bilbao beat at Old Trafford Manchester United, Barcelona beat Bayer Leverkusen 7-1. We're talking about a very strong league, much stronger than most of you would think, which is, you know, it's now in the second half of the season we got the stats to prove it, if you like. It is interesting, I've read somewhere, it's interesting that the more the Premier League becomes the kind of league that the fans want, that's box to box and offensive and open and no tactics, the lesser success the English teams have got in Europe, which is interesting, because it could actually be down to the fact that Manchester United, Manchester City, they just need to, the things we're talking about, control the game, be able to keep a tight defence, a clean sheet in Europe, and I think those things certainly will help them progress in Europe. In the case of Manchester City, it's a learning process. They will be in the Champions League next season, and they will be far in the Champions League next season. In the case of Manchester United, I think it's more a problem of personnel, of midfielders, that will help them with that, and probably as well centre backs. Anyway, another big game, Everton, Spurs, and a couple of interesting little details of that game that may decide you where to put the money, because Spurs is just now 4 points ahead of 4th place Arsenal. Good turnaround from Arsenal. They've just won 2 of the past 7 Premier League fixtures, and they weren't that great in the FA Cup either. And it's a tricky trip to Everton. Everton, on the other hand, unbeaten in the past 8 matches, with home wins against Manchester City and Chelsea, and I think they're gonna beat Spurs. This Spurs side, they don't look great at the moment. Again, it's a team that likes to go forward, and when they are at the best, they seem almost impossible to beat. But it comes on the back of defeats against Manchester United and Arsenal, and then when you unsettle the confidence of Spurs, you get a much worse Spurs, because they're not a winning team yet. They don't know how to deal with defeat as well as, say, Manchester United, who will probably come back from that defeat in the Europa League and beat West Brom. Spurs are not like that. Historically, that's been the case. So I think Everton, who are resilient and strong and defend deep, and they believe in what they're doing, they may actually get the 3 points here. What else we've got in Spain? Let me have a look. For instance, it will be an interesting one, Betis Real Madrid, because Betis is a little version of Barcelona, if you like, with much worse players and much worse results, etc. But the way they play, they pressure high, they keep the ball, they move it around. If they don't make mistakes in the way that Espanyol did against Real Madrid at Santiago Bernabeu, they may make things difficult for Real Madrid. If they stop Real Madrid scoring early, if Real Madrid scores early, there's going to be a 3-0 victory to Real Madrid. But if they don't, it will be very difficult for Real Madrid to beat Betis to a point where it may just look like a draw for most of the game, and then maybe Cristiano will turn it around with 1 goal. I think there's only 1 goal difference here. We'll see, because Betis can give you that, a tight game, but sometimes they just implode. So if they keep it tight, they probably will lose, but they will lose by 1 goal if they keep it tight at the beginning. If not, it could be a disaster. So maybe put some money during the game if you can, and wait for the first 10 minutes, see how it goes. And I don't know, we could talk about just briefly about Osasuna Athletic Club Bilbao. What a great game, and that's the last game on Sunday. I'll be there on Sky Sports, and it will be a great game because Osasuna at home, they're very, very difficult to beat. They're very good in set pieces. They put high tempo, which will try to do for the whole 90 minutes to check the fitness of Athletic Bilbao. Athletic Bilbao suffers after European night, especially in the last half an hour of the games. So don't be surprised if Osasuna take 1 point or perhaps 3 on this game, and then Athletic Bilbao go to the San Mamés and beat Manchester United again. But we'll talk about that one next week. So I'll leave you with all that stuff that I put out there, and hope to see you soon, maybe on Wednesday in the horses. Bye bye, Sporting Bet customers.